record on this computer. Ha! Look at that. Efficiency.
Welcome to Everyone Racers, a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture. It doesn't matter what kind of Lemachamp or Lucky Track Dog league you run, SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate as long as you drive it hard and build it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussions, tips, tricks, as well as news and notes from the world of amateur endurance racing. Whether it's on the spot, hella sweet, or we're lucky enough and I give you just the tip, we are sure you'll giggle a little and learn even less. Everyone report to the paddock.
There we go.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
And I'm Mental. And we are Everyone Racers. Thanks for coming back and listening to an episode of our podcast. That's right. It's episode 300. It could be a ZX. It could be a gullwing, Ford Straight Six, any letter series Chrysler episode of our podcast. You got thoughts on what 300 should be? Let us know. We know it's madness, but this is Everyone Racers.
So many. We've gone through so many numbers that weren't anything. And then you're like, now I get to 300 and everything. In this
Yeah,
all the things.
everything.
all the things.
Just settling for some Mercedes. It's a lot of Mercedes. The
We're not
300s.
biased at all.
No.
No, I mean, it's a 123. That was the other one that was like so close, but not quite. Anyway, I have to say, Mental, your new method of cueing the music and then hitting record, that might be the first time ever that we've actually just let off right into the start of the intro and not had the, so why isn't it working yet?
What? Oh, wait, why am I not? Wait,
Well,
no
and
sound? Wait.
that's important because then the listeners know what episode it is, because invariably someone goes 300 episodes.
Yeah, it's taken us that
Well, now
long.
it's just the shtick. Yeah.
Well, and even it's not a shtick because we're just bad at it.
We are. I wish we were aware enough to be that ironic.
We're not.
Yeah. And on that note of being aware and ironic, Chrissy, what are you working on?
So we did a lot of boat work. I'll leave that to Chris because he probably did a little bit more than I did. We divided and conquered, but we're just getting boat prep, getting it ready to go. I had more things to do.
I just saw the last thing you're going to talk about. I'm very excited. I love that thing.
Yes, I are huge supporters of our local library. So I am on the board, and that means that I have to do all the fun things. And then because I'm on the board means that Chris has to come and help. So basically he was home during the day, but I was at our annual duck race. So we float 899 this year, ducks, little plastic ducks down our little river that splits our town. And whoever wins gets prizes. There's all kinds of cash prizes and gift cards. And this year, my sister won for the last duck. She won for the last duck because we think that's fine because that makes people watch for the end, right? And her duck sunk. So they found it and she won a prize. So that's great.
It's the most Jen award that there could be.
But her rubber duck sunk.
Yeah. So we were surprised, which was great. So and it rained out in the middle of it. So it was cloudy in the day. Of course, Apple Weather tells you, is it going to rain? Is it not going to rain? We'll watch the whole time. And then at about 12:30, it just sheets of rain, downpour, everybody standing under tents, like pop-ups, getting wet, kind of miserable. And then the sun came out. So we ended up selling 899 ducks. It's pretty good. We were prepared for 1,400. So it's okay. And then we had some we're getting a lot of rain here on the East Coast in Pennsylvania. And so we had a leak in one of our doors, which goes right into a section of the library that has a whole lot of books. So Chris and I were doing some emergency fixes. We had to take some floor tiles up and get a fan and put some weather stripping in. And we figured out, we think, what's the problem. So we were just coming back from that this afternoon. So
you didn't
lots
lose any
of stuff.
books, did you? Just like floor damage? Or?
Not yet. No, this is just it's musty and some hopefully not mold. We're trying to get it before it gets moldy because that's
the people at the library are not good at this kind of thing that work at a library. So they're putting like this little, like one of those tower fans that
like
just
a little air fan,
blow a little bit of breeze, trying to dry the floor. I'm like, that's not working.
ASMR floor drying.
Right. You need a something called an air mover. So we went and provided them with
Bought
one of those
one.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're better now. And I know that they appreciate it. And we're saving money, which is the biggest thing, because we would like to spend money on books and programs, not a handyman. So that's why I call Chris. So now he's known around the library and says, oh, it's just that guy. He's here to fix something. Cool. Anyway, enough about libraries.
Doesn't read. He's just here to fix crap.
Well, he reads a lot, but doesn't go to the library to get the book. So anyway, enough about everyone. Libraries. Mental. What are you working on?
I've been working on Porsche stuff. I've been working on the 914. We posted a what you working on with me getting most of the tar and the paint out of the interior and confirming everyone's knowledge that there is no such thing as a rust-free 914. It's not bad. It really isn't, but you can just see spots where water is gathered, and I'm just going to have to patch weld a few things up. And I just don't like that I can see slivers of daylight right where the seat mounts. That tells me it's a little weak. So we're working on that.
No problem there.
And I addressed the massive oil leak, which I thought I'd had it solved, but I drove it today and is a trickle. And I don't know if that is incoming.
So it's better.
It's actually to like normal 914 levels of oil leakage now, but I had it like stopped. So I'm hoping this isn't like an impending indication of a flood of oil that will come. And then completely gutted. I drove it to Cars and Cafe, the annual or the monthly little gathering that we have here in Las Vegas, downtown Las Vegas, put on by our buddy John Polnick, the guys from Bid Nerds and Dur Die and the Rami Show and all of that. So we were all down there, and I thought my gutted interior would be greeted with scorn, but they all thought it was hilarious because I've got the entire dash taken apart, and I just have the speedometer held in place by the speedometer cable, and you have to kind of like rotate it for it to work, sort of a deal. And then I've got the straight pipes on it now because I did get the exhaust on it, and everyone actually thought that was great. So purest form of motorsport. And if you guys remember way back in December when I was driving to Thunderhill and I encountered a windstorm and I ended up having to file an insurance claim on my RV. Well, the RV's been there for 7 months with horrible communication. And I'm wondering, what's going on. And I've been trying to call the guy. It turns out he's been fired. And while my RV was languishing there, someone stole the catalytic converter. And what's even funnier is right now, my hosts are looking at me as if they're shocked. But really what happened is they gigablasted and they are frozen on my screen. So if you're watching this on YouTube, they really aren't that invested in what's going on, but that's just what's happening. So they're looks like they're rebooting. Hopefully they'll be joining back in just a few minutes. I would like to point out to the listeners, I didn't gigablast this time. That was 100% Chris and Chrissy. So they'll be popping back on. Chris is going to come in and he's going to talk about some of the work that he's been doing on the Mazda and the boat that they spent all last year sanding and didn't take out. And it's July and they haven't taken that boat out yet. But Chris is here to talk about it.
Yes, just barely. Great. Well, hang on.
It's okay. I sold you out for the gigablasting. Oh, he's wagging a finger at me and he gigablasted again. Oh, this is going to be great. If we don't start this recording over, I'm going to use this as the outtakes reel. While we're waiting for them to get their internet sorted out, we're going to skip ahead a little bit and just jump right into news and notes. We're talking about, oh, no, Chrissy's back. Okay.
We're the worst.
We're not going to jump ahead. We're not going to jump ahead.
They even restarted the modem tonight.
We did. I don't know. And there's not an active storm right now. So there's not really any reason to.
Oh, man. It's going to be a gigablast episode all night. Oh, because Chris didn't even turn on his video that time. All right. Nico D'Amata, he's over at the Drive, and he's telling us that we're not only the biggest celebrities in Formula One. A lot of A-listers get into that thing, like us. The Alpine team, or Alpine, Just a few years ago, they were on the brink of collapse. Now, three organizations, Ortro Capital, Redbird Capital Partners, and Maximum Effort Investments, have purchased 24% of the Alpine team for $218 million. And the hope is that cash is going to bring Alpine back to the pointy end of the competition field against Red Bull and Mercedes. Now, Maximum Effort is, of course, the investment organization of none other than Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, that Ryan Reynolds, the star of so many films that Chrissy has never seen. He also owns a stake in the Dallas Cowboys. It's a French football team, Toulouse, as well as UK's Wrexham AFC, which they made a TV show about. Now, Ryan's going to be on the show next week, and he's going to talk about his interest in Formula One and some of his plans for Alpine. And if you believe that, got a bridge for you to buy. It's in Philadelphia, and Chris is going to talk about that when they get their motor rebooted. God, that would have been a great transition. Such a good transition. Still no Chris and Chrissy. So we are going to skip ahead. If you've got a crappy modem and a lot of time on your hands, say like your co-host just keeps rambling on your podcast, RacingJunk has got you covered with a beautiful project. And I am going to share this screen right now. Actually, I'm going to move it over here so we get a full view for those who are enhancing the YouTube experience. Now, and we go to share screen. Haha. And I'm sharing the screen. There's that. Right now, for $5,000, just outside of Ypsilanti, Michigan, which I am absolutely certain that Randy's going to correct my pronunciation of, are two Mark I Ford Fiestas. They got a 78 and a 79, and it's $5,000 for the pair of them. And this is under the RacingJunk's separate classified for just 24 hours of Lemons equipment. Because if you're on RacingJunk, they have that. They have stuff that you need for 24 hours of limit. So you get two of these babies, but these just aren't some piles of crap that you could buy. These have race provenance. They were raced from 2010 to 2014. And we actually asked around a little bit. And according to Eric Rude, they weren't exactly awful. And one of them even won Class B. But I can tell you right now, these things are absolutely going in Class C. Don't even sweat it. So, but we've got coverage of the good old Judge Phil when he was still writing for Auto Week and Car and Driver. So we got a link to that, and we got a link to those. So two 1978 or 78 and 79 Ford Fiestas, and they are in fact proper lemony, even though they said that one of them's got some engine upgrades. You probably have to do some updates on the cage. It's definitely going to need a fire suppression system. That's fine. But for $5,000, you're getting a car and a parts car, and they're coming with heritage. You know what else you get? If you go to RacingJunk right now and sign up for a pro membership, you can get that for half price, right? That's less than like you're going to spend it on 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks. So use code POD23. Make us look good. Do yourself a favor. Do some joy scrolling. All right. Go look at stuff like this excellent Fiesta that we're looking at right now. And you can get those. They're hella cheap. They're hella cool. All right. While you're out there, I want you to check out YouTube and then head over to the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix. We actually just had a meeting about this. Jeff and I were on a conference call, and they've got some really cool plans next month for the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix. And this all going to be on YouTube. And we're going to be some of the MCs and broadcasting and going to the parties and all that kind of stuff. And you can see all of that if they get enough subscribers to go live. So need you to go there, then get your spam account, sign up to be a subscriber, get your mom, your parents, your aunt, your uncle, that YouTube account you have for your dog, get all of them subscribed to the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix. I have a Chris. I don't have a Chrissy, but I have a Chris.
Yeah, our entire internet crashed, so we are hotspotting off of our phones right now. So we're finding ways to make this work realistically. All right,
excellent.
So you've kept the show rolling. So should we go back to what you're working on?
What you working on?
And see, the finger wagging I had was because I wasn't done with you until passing it off, because I know that you are going to Alaska tomorrow.
I'm going to Alaska in 8 hours. Yes.
Right. And I want to hear more about this. Tell me more. I know absolutely nothing about your plans to go to Alaska. Who are you spending time with? What are you driving? How drunk were you when you agreed to do this? All those sorts of things.
I'll say standard level of drunk, but I'd wanted to do this, and I had a couple of horrible plans, and they sold out before we could get there. And you know, no big deal to that end. Let me see. Yeah, we can change that real quick. So they actually had two teams cancel. And I said, the heck with it. And I just paid for it with no plan. So even by mental standards, I am dreadfully unprepared.
Yeah.
I don't have a
Wow,
partner.
okay.
Yeah. I don't have a
Okay.
partner. I was looking at the possibility of buying something local here, driving it up there, but I just don't have the time.
That's a long set. Like you think, oh, it's Alaska. It's not that far away. It's a really long way away.
It
Like-
is 48 hours of straight driving. And I did the math. It was going to take me about 4 days, and I just don't have, and I definitely don't have 4 days to get back, because we've got work happening soon after that.
Yeah.
But you do have, if you're following on Instagram, and you should, because you can follow the hashtag Lemons Rally to see all of our misadventures. But Fail Inc., aka Florida Man Donnie, he is driving from Florida. He's in Canada now. I don't think he's made it to Alaska yet. The XC90s kids, they're not driving their XC90, but you remember them from the Texas rally a couple of years ago. They're funny.
Okay.
They drove from Oklahoma. They're in Alaska. And
Dave Mills was driving his Chrysler New Yorker with the janky trailer.
Yes. From New Jersey. He left the trailer with Mike Krenzer at Gingerman, because he just like the registration requirements for Canada are a little too hassle. So yes, he's doing the Gentleman Dave thing. He's living in this Dodge Dynasty Chrysler product all the way across, cooking on the side of the road, making friends, being Dave.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And then there was the family that was going to bring their Peugeot. It died. They have a Volkswagen Transporter Westfalia. It has died twice, had to be trailered once. And the last update, they were at a state park in Canada trying to fix something on the front end of the car.
I mean, it's very Volkswagen.
It is very, very Volkswagen. I actually lucked out. I tried to reach out to some of my military friends, and the Cordals, who are putting this whole thing together with Eric and Jeff Stobbs, have offered me an 82 Eagle Summit wagon, and it is proper lemony.
Oh, and 82 isn't a Summit wagon. 82 is just an Eagle wagon.
Eagle, yeah, the Eagle SW. Yeah, basically the basically big ugly, not all-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, I always liked those. Those are always great. I'm slightly jealous. You're going to spend some quality time in an Eagle.
Yes. So I
was pulling up the list of Craig right now to see what can I find for mental that would be a good choice.
And I had a few, and that was actually my initial plan going in, was to find somebody that was willing to go look at or store, kind of a deal. And couldn't come up with anything. And then the Cordals offered me this 82 wagon. So I put insurance on it just the other day. And yeah, I leave tomorrow on Alaska Airlines, and then there I shall go to, no, it's not going to let me do that. Okay. See, I have a picture of it on my phone, which is, terrible, but,
oh, well, you can find it and put it.
Here it is.
There will be lots.
So,
I mean, that's an Eagle. I like that the rear is a white wall on a Steely and the front is an alloy with a black wall. That's a good indicator.
And that it's sitting in overgrown vegetation. There is zero fail.
Yeah. That's excellent. Because what Craigslist is up right now, and I'm sure, like, what have I got real quick here for mental?
I felt there was an Eldorado, like one of the late 80s, like an 84 digital injection Eldorados, suitably rusty, and I was looking hard at that one.
It was a 90 DeVille for $500 right there. That's, you have good luck with those, especially on rallies.
Totally, absolutely.
That won't
would have
be
been
a
fun.
problem at all. Yeah. Oh, here we go. 2000 Pathfinder with 300,000 miles on it. What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? And I wasn't afraid of doing that and launching it. The Alaska Rally ends at Glacier Bay, which is on the 3rd. And every 4th of July, they launch cars off of this cliff as part of their 4th of July celebration. So the Eagle will not be going off the cliff. Or if it does, it is not by my decision. It will not be flying unless those guys just get sick of it and decide to do it. But I was going to do that. Elected. Yeah. But so yeah, therein lies my plan. So check out our Instagram because it's all going to be on the E1R page. And just check out hashtag Lemons Rally for all of the insanity starting on the 30th. So for all the checkpoints, because if you don't know anything about Lemons Rally, that's how they keep score. Is Eric and Jeff Stobbs go through and check out everybody's checkpoints and all the challenges. It's not actually a race. In fact, if you start driving like a hoon, they'll kick you off because they don't want the liability. You follow the speed limit. You have to have insurance. You have to have registration. And you drive like a responsible human being and you don't make it hard for everybody else. And it's an internet scavenger hunt.
Sounds great.
Sorry. Yeah. A photo scavenger hunt on Instagram. And that's how they assign the points. Chris and his good buddy, Paul, did it in a digital Corvette this year.
We sure did. And Dave did too, in his digital Cressida, and did the important job of eating chips while watching us fix the Corvette.
I believe there was some mockery going on there as well. It was
without a doubt. Yeah. All right. So back to what I was working on, boat stuff. Well, also Mazda stuff. Got the boat ready for the season. For those of you who don't know, this is a 1982 Boston Whaler, 17-foot Montauk that has been in my family since 1991. And Chrissy and I restored it during COVID at great personal cost to our souls.
If you want to just go back and listen to the intro of every show during 2020, it was more sanding.
Yeah, more sanding. So did the boat, but basically I had to pull it out of the backyard, get the tarp off it, get it ready for the season. So that involved 2 passes of buffing that Chrissy did most of that. So once with a polish, once with a good glaze on top of that. I did some work on the engine. There was a bolt that was missing that was kind of holding the lower, not the lower unit, but the lower leg on that had been missing for a couple of years. I finally decided I should fix that. So I did new spark plugs, leaking an oil thing. And big thing is I replaced the battery cables, which I think were original to the boat, and we were getting some voltage drop warnings on the motor. So I think between the going to a thicker gauge cable and to a new battery, we should solve that problem, which should make the boat run better. So touched up the bottom paint, cleaned everything up. Boat looks phenomenal. It's ready to go in the driveway. All I have to do is still register it in Pennsylvania, which I still haven't done in all these years. I've kept it in Massachusetts on my dad's registration, but I really need to just do that. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. And I've been working on the Mazda. After New Jersey, after a race, you never know what you're going to find. And especially because we were lazy at New Jersey on Saturday night. There was nothing wrong with the car. Car was fine. So the extent of our prep for Sunday was we checked the oil. It was fine. That was it. Then we had a potluck and whatnot. So, anyway, the Mazda otherwise didn't need anything. It did need something. The right front tie rod on the passenger side, the nut that holds the tie rod end was a little loose, so I had to retorque that. That's what the car needed.
That was it. That was the extent of your repair.
That's what it really needed. I did take the oil pan off and reseal it because it was leaking a little more than I would have liked in a couple spots, but that was unnecessary. The only repairs made were the loose nut.
See, folks, stop buying boring BMWs. Just get yourself a Mazda 3.
It hasn't been perfect, but it's been above average, I would say, so far.
Very reliable, I would argue. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's sitting in the garage right now, ready to go. Wheels are torqued, full gas. Just needs to go back in the trailer and get ready for Thompson, where we shall dominate.
As
always.
Yes. All right. And for those, you're just tired of looking at a black and white screen that says this is Chris. I will share the screen.
I can turn the video back on, but I'm just trying to make sure that.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. I'm hot spotting.
There you go. So folks watching, there's the Midori Honda.
Yep. It's a Mazda, but that's okay.
I'm sorry, Mazda. All right. So while you and Chrissy are fighting the interwebs, I went ahead and did my news and notes. If you wanted to jump into yours.
Sure, I can do mine. All right. So news and notes, part 2. Just after the New Jersey race, the I-95 bridge outside of Philly collapsed after a tanker truck caught fire under the bridge. I think he would have parked it in a better spot. But anyway, Elizabeth Pukets at Motorious tells us that while PennDOT can't do squat about 422sucks.com, they can get a temp solution for the bridge together with staggering speed, thanks partially to Pocono Raceway and their jet dryer. The collapse was initially projected to disrupt traffic for months, but the repair crews have laid asphalt and are putting up signs. We heard about this the other day on NPR here. They're like, yep, road's open. It's not perfect. You have to slow down, but it's open and working. So that's great. Apparently, though, it's really because this article says Pennsylvania's Attorney General Josh Shapiro, he's actually now the governor. He won the election last November. So he
fantastic.
Said to rebuild I-95 on time, we need 12 hours of dry weather to complete the paving and striping process. And with rain in the forecast, we reached out to Pocono Raceway for help. So they brought the jet dryer, typically used to dry the speedway, down there, use that to dry it off enough to be able to stripe the road, get it ready. And it was open this week. And now we're looking at Mental's desktop.
That wasn't supposed to happen. Damn it. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Best show ever.
Totally.
There we go.
Just when we were beginning, we were saying, look, we got the intro right. Everything else went to shit.
Pretty much.
Yep.
So on the YouTube, God forbid NASCAR miss a PR opportunity. They went ahead and sent the pace car Camaro to lead the jet dryer down there on top of that.
It is cute.
It is. It's awesome. No, lean into it. Hey, we care. Yeah. Good on it. Oh, yeah. This might actually almost work out.
Chrissy, are you working here?
I see her there. She doesn't have her microphone still turned off.
So I'm trying to do everything on my phone. I'm trying to read the notes and be on Zoom, and it's not going so well.
Can you just read the notes on your computer? And
I cannot. I don't have any computer that will allow me to get on the notes. So
so we could
struggle
text you.
Struggle bus is real here. Nope, I'm working on it.
I could totally text you the verbiage from
I got it.
Oh, she's on it. Oh,
I'm on it. Eddie Eckert at Hagerty has a lovely market trend to take regarding one of the VW's most forlorn products, the Corrado. As Eddie asserts, the redeeming traits of the VR6 equipped Corrado SLC and its slow sales relative to the competition have paid dividends for it in today's market. Hagerty Price Guide #1 condition concourse value for a 1993 Corrado SLC is for $57,300. And for a 1993 example with only 15,000 miles, just sold on BAT for over $53,000. Compare that to the $31,400 in a #1 condition value for a 1997 Honda Prelude SH, or a $33,100 for a similar quality 1993 Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX. Eckert says the Corrado isn't likely to cross into legend status like it is the Integra Type R, but it clearly has built a strong case for itself against most of its Japanese sport coupe competition. Adding the battle for superiority in the 90s sports car coupe segment lives on decades later. That makes me so happy. What is this picture you're showing?
So it just to say, this is Chrissy. This is the one literally from our
I just posted that not long ago.
Yeah, it was in our memory, so I grabbed it off of the Three Pedal Mafia Facebook page, our infamous Knights of Spamalot.
Yes, correct.
So, all right, and now while Chris and Chrissy were working on that, we did talk about those Mark I Fiestas for sale in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Go to RacingJunk.com. Their internet is fantastic. Enter Pod 23, get that Pro Junk membership for like hella cheap. It's like $20. And then go to the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix YouTube channel and subscribe.
Do it.
Please, because in a month, Jeff and I had a teleconference about this. You guys should have the schedule that where Bernard wants us in your email right now. So
starting to look through it.
Yeah. And that's coming up. And speaking of upcoming races, Champ Car.
Upcoming races.
Woohoo! Champ Car is at Sebring for the Senator, 14 hours, presented by UUS Motorworks. This is actually, I'm pretty happy about this ratio, but I'll get you guys' inputs. There's 51 cars, which for Sebring, okay, track day, but actually Lemons didn't have.
But it's 4th of July weekend though at Sebring. That's the problem.
Right.
Lemons did that too. How nobody showed up for that either.
No, exactly. No, because it is miserably hot out there. But of those 51 cars, a mere 8 are BMWs, 9 are Miatas. Yeah, the BMWs are boring, but this is a good ratio. 9 are Miatas, 4 are Hondas, go Team Fat Crack, 5 Porsches, and hidden among them are some fantastic gems like an Escort ZX2, a Contour, a pair of Firebirds, and deep in there, car number 54, JB Bugs Racing in a super ! Beetle.
Excellent. That's still 16% BMWs.
It is, but it's single digits.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's only 50 cars. So
yeah, exactly. As mentioned, I'm going to be in Alaska for the rally. I did email Rally Master Jeff Stobbs, but in his defense, he has a new wife, a great child, and he's probably already traveling to Alaska. It is capped at 25 cars. One of those I know is a Cadillac. One of those I know is a Westphalia. One of those I know is a Dodge Dynasty. I feel like I should be alarmed that I already know so many people that are driving to Alaska just to drive around Alaska, but it all just kind of makes sense in the end.
Did you add the K car in there?
Yeah, it's well, I think Mills's Dynasty is technically a K car.
She's like Sasha. She thinks is bringing.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I know he is. Sasha's
forgot.
on his way. He's in Washington right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
He revived.
Oh, actually, he passed into Canada.
Evil K car.
Yeah.
And is bringing the good news is it will never hurt anyone again because it is going off the cliff at the end of the rally for the 4th of July.
Yay.
Definitely watch our social medias because that car, while never at the level that it hurt DC Doug and a host of other friends of mine.
Oh, it deserves to die.
Justin Howe.
It definitely deserves to die.
It still impacted my life, and I will cheer its demise. So there's that. Everyone else is taking July off basically on that one. So I think our next big race is we already had in July, Brainerd, the Donnybrook Dogs is coming. And then, we talked about the Sebring, and then Lemons has got nothing on until August, which
correct. I mean, they're on a def summer break there.
Yeah. Well, cause it's miserable hot. I love racetracks, but even I have temperature limits. Speaking of which, we are now on day 293 in Las Vegas, where we have not exceeded 100 degrees.
Well, good for you.
Congratulations.
Yay.
No one cares. Shut up. Okay.
No, it's great. It's just that's a funny stat. That's all.
But you know what someone might care about?
Ooh. Don't know.
I'm waiting for Chrissy to scream, but she's not going to, I guess.
If I scream, it doesn't help because I have headphones in that aren't a microphone. So let's feedback time. I can lift my head and it doesn't matter because I have
no microphone. Yeah.
All right. So some of this is old, but
nope.
Oh, she's already got all that stuff in there. Never mind.
It's all set. This is all fresh. Go with the.
I was going to go read it from this. I was going to go read it from the source. In response to our Colorado show, Randy B, I want someone to believe in me as much as Mental believes. There's a G in Kazashi, which in my defense, and I told Randy this that weekend because I kept pronouncing it the Kagashi, is I worked with a guy named Kagashi, and it's just Law of primacy. That's just what's in my head. Tyler said, quote, "Hey, when I raced that Ranger, it was in Class B and easily had top 10 pace in that class. But we still didn't keep it on track enough to finish top 10 in C, though my welder did save the day more than once."
And Andrew P said, "I'm not a super experienced driver in the rain, but I was amazed by the very poor strategy by most drivers." And he's talking about it at the Colorado race. He said, "On Saturday, there were 2 cars that oiled down the track. The oil sheen was very visible and people would drive straight through it just because that's the normal racing line. Cars would plow through deep puddles of water in the straights and at the apex of corners and lose a little bit of heat they had in the tires. Having a nice heavy blazer certainly helped, but we would blow past cars in the rain that would typically not be our competition on the drive with minimal changes to the driving line." Yeah. Find the traction, people. It's how rain works.
Yeah.
Yep. Or ask somebody or something, because even the people that we talked to didn't necessarily believe us.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I got a lot of wows on this, but yesterday I got up at 2:30 in the morning to go do a free sunrise filming with the Dirt Fascination crew, Cars Unknown, with an art car done by Galden Classics here in Las Vegas, the Porsche dealership, the first certified Porsche classic dealer in America. And they've got this gorgeous 993. And I posted pictures of that because they had it wrapped as an art car. And most of them were positive comments, but one guy like, "Really? Seriously? I hope you're trying to be ironic because it's friggin' 2023 and whatever." Moving on to that. And then we've been getting a host of messages. Something that I got today that I did not have a chance to put in there, but if you go to YouTube, they're just released on the Red Bull channel on YouTube, is Yuki Tsunoda and Max Verstappen racing monster trucks.
Really?
Nice.
Wow. Huh. I'm impressed.
And aside from being on the
Max
Alpha,
like smile? Like, does he is he kind of like a real person?
he actually is. He makes a couple of good jokes, and they, in addition to being on the AlphaTauri team, they grabbed Yuki Tsunoda because he's the smallest driver in F1 right now.
I am not surprised because we saw some pictures of him. I think
Yuki's
when he was
so little,
cleaning out.
he's like
so
fun
little.
size.
He is fun size.
Oh.
Yeah, let's not go with that joke. I was going to say, who else is fun size, but that's not good. No.
Who never gives out fun size, because fun size is bullshit.
There
on
you
Halloween,
go. I like
there we
that.
go. Yes,
Right.
totally. Yes.
It's Chrissy's
True.
mom.
She had all large king size, actually. That's what we had. Oh, not all of them, but we definitely had a large supply of those.
She knows fun size is no fun at all.
No, that's for the candy dish at the bank. Yeah. For Halloween,
Yes.
you don't screw around.
Nope.
That's right.
It's from my mother. Hi,
Speaking
Mom.
of screwing around,
It's
main topic time.
topic time.
Yes, it is.
And this week we're
What are
talking
you talking about?
We're talking about the New Jersey Motorsports Park Lemons race Hangover. We were there. We raced. We're always tired when we come home. 2 weeks later, we're just kind of not tired now. That's a typical race hangover, right? So
Sure.
we're going to talk all about our race, how it was, what happened, the usual
Seems
crap.
like a long time ago.
It does. So we'll go through this in general. Some of these, though, I think we all know. We know what New Jersey Motorsports Park is. We did a whole episode about it, where it is and what's there and whatnot. So
And the fact that it's New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, let's just go day by day. We got
Yes.
there Thursday. Everyone was Chrissy and I got there just in time where the entry road is basically clear. Everyone was in and setting up.
Yeah, it was surprising.
Yeah. We'd gotten our spots, our power poles with the help of Audra and Jeremy. And everyone was setting up. So we did too. And it was a little different setup this time with a different RV setup. So we got the pop-up tents out because we didn't have a garage. Thanks, Greg. Because Greg forgot.
We thought we did until
to
2
order
days before. And then
garages.
said, yeah, which garage do we have? Oh, not sure. I can't see that email. Well,
have we raced at New Jersey without a garage ever before?
No.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. We have before.
Oh, on the other track.
Yes, because they don't have garages.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking of
On-
the time that we
on the
didn't
other
get
track.
the garage spot right in front of our
Yeah.
garage. No, I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah, we've always had a garage. Like we don't know how to race without garages for this much. But so yeah, Greg didn't do the Jersey garages like he said he was going to. He did get one for himself because Amanda had an extra one. So Towley had a garage spot,
That was so.
but no one
so
else
nice.
did. So everyone else is in the gravel. But that's okay. We made the most of our setup and it worked out pretty well. So that was fine. So Thursday, typical setup, meet and greet. So I had everybody go to bed while Towley crew is still
Doing
having
tally,
a great
doing
time.
tally
but
curl
going
shit.
hard. They were going hard.
All right.
They
Yeah.
meaning Darren. I'm not sure about the other two, but Darren went hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
The next morning,
Give me
Greg is
just
like,
1 second because I've been trying to set up this joke for a little bit here.
Yep, we're waiting.
I know I'm working
Gosh,
on it.
I thought we were good at
We're not
this
even
stuff.
there.
Oh, make it.
That's right.
All right. Anything else will get us, copyright investment.
Yep, totally. So I guess we'll start there. For those of you that weren't there,
For
was
those
our
of you
theme
that
this race.
were, you're having flashbacks.
Yep.
Sorry.
That was
yeah,
our theme.
I still am. Yep.
We just played Journey all weekend. We wore Journey t-shirts. Eric walked around signing up people for the Journey fan club. We just with the Mazda had speakers on it that played Journey outside the car all the time.
I'm gonna wag the finger there a little bit, Chris. You didn't have a Journey t-shirt. You had an excellent mullet wig, a denim vest, and no shirt.
No. It was also not a mullet wig. It was a beautiful brown bob, because at some point Steve, the main singer, has this lovely hair and like a little side swipe bang, because of course we watched Journey for the 3 weeks up to the race, so we made sure that we understood all of the nuances and all of the different outfits that they wear.
It's called research, people. You can't bring it
We
weak
did
for a theme
research.
anymore. You have to get every little detail.
We did that.
It's true. You do. Yeah. Yeah. So we did all that. And it wasn't a denim vest. It was a full out denim jacket. And I'm pretty sure it was actually Chrissy's mom's jacket.
It was my mom's
originally
jacket
that I wore all weekend.
I also had a beautiful.
A little small.
I'm gonna
I
go
rolled the
with
sleeves up.
She's like, oh, no shirt. I don't need that back.
Oh no, she wasn't want it
she did
back.
need it back.
No.
Yes. And at some point I had a beautiful 80s jacket on, and everybody was like, where'd you get that? I was like, it was my mom's. She keeps stuff. She has an amazing closet in her basement. She just keeps stuff. She's like, you never know when you're going to need that for a race theme.
You never know when your middle
She's
daughter,
not wrong.
who is an industry professional, is going to go to a racetrack in New Jersey and sing Journey all weekend.
I'm the oldest, but go ahead.
Oh, never mind. Sorry,
Yeah.
I had it in my head. Yeah. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. So we had a lot of fun with that. The Journey never stopped, especially in the Mazda, but also in our paddock too. And yeah, it was good. Commitment to the bit. We thought we were funny. Eric enjoyed it. We all enjoyed it.
We did.
I think most
You
of our
couldn't hear
neighbors.
the. Okay, go
A
ahead.
surprising number of our neighbors actually seem to enjoy it. More seem to express their enjoyment than their disdain. I'll put it that way.
Well, because they couldn't hear it inside the car when we were running with it in the car. So even though I knew you couldn't hear it while racing outside the car, I could hear it in the car. So Chris turned it off while the car was on track.
That's why I put a off switch on it.
So I didn't do that. And I ran with it running all the time. And it's just not so bad until one time I got in the car where I went with the very short what do you call it? Playlist that only had
4-song and
songs.
a 12-song playlist, and she got the 4-song.
So I got the 4-song, and I was like, did I just hear this song? Yes, I did, because there was only 4 songs. So when you do an hour and a half, and you only listen to 4 songs over and over again, this is why I can't handle Journey anymore. Anyway, okay, back to
You
Friday.
said to listen to some of the deep cuts a little bit more, honey.
Yeah?
That's what it is.
Sure.
Or you
Okay,
have to.
we're still on
you
Friday.
got to go see what's the musical with Tom Cruise? Where they're singing all the Journey songs throughout the entire.
No.
No clue.
Oh
Nope.
gosh, yeah, I gotta look. Now. People
Anyway.
are yelling this into their radio while I look it up.
Yep.
So
We
Friday,
didn't-
the rest
we
of
didn't do
so
that.
we tacked. It was great. We had all 3 cars with all speakers that were all synced actually, so that as we were going through, it was good and loud, and we had a lot of fun with that. We were right behind Garage Heroes and Monkey House's Ombre, our old Ombre, and Tim Burr made sure to glitter bomb Eric and I as we were singing Journey. It got everywhere in our, it's like in our
Including
teeth, in
your teeth.
ears.
Because you
It-
went like this, like you went
Yeah.
flip hair back
Yeah.
while glitter was happening. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was exciting.
So I made sure
Good
to get in the
timing.
hot tub not long after to spread the glitter. So it was an experiment. It's like how does the disease spread in the hot tub? So where does the glitter go?
Yep,
we-
all this happened.
Oh, I did
Uh,
not hear that part of it. That is.
Yep.
Oh, so what's
so
better or
we-
worse, the glitter or the dish soap?
Well, they put
It
the
all
dish
hap-
open
it all
Saturday
happened,
night.
so
So
there's
yeah,
that.
all the usual stories. We didn't test the Mazda on Friday because nothing to test.
And their
Cressida went out
testing
for a
days
couple things.
expensive and sucks. So
Yeah. Tally went out for a couple of things. No, and actually Greg brought a friend and his son, Jim and Jimmy, and they put Jimmy in the car. It's his first time ever driving a race car. And we put him after a lot of, all right, take it easy. Watch your mirrors, be careful out there. So in the end, we've got another addict. He came in just jonesing for another fix. So I'm sure
I mean,
we'll
I
see
don't
them
know
out
if you
there at some
should
point.
start out your experience with Betty. So
Well,
I
what
feel
are the
like
what's
that's
his other choices? The TR?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
no, the Mazda. It's like a little more of a normal race car.
The TR got
Yeah.
dragged out of the field only for one last encore performance, and that's definitely it for this poor TR.
I feel like
Oh.
I should be driving the TR to Canada right now just to launch off that cliff.
Oh man.
No, you
Now,
would
the
should not do
powertrain is
that.
still good. Don't take the powertrain.
Yeah,
Everything
fair
else
enough.
is terrible.
Yes.
Yeah, don't do that.
So Friday night, normal Friday night shenanigans. Definitely played bounce the dong off the trampoline.
Have to.
And with announcing was maybe a little too loud for some people. So sorry about that. And yeah, Saturday, go race it. Eric started. Eric got an hour and something through the car. And then Chrissy got in. You finished Chrissy's stint.
I heard a rumor because I was recently working with the Garage Heroes in training, and Eric's cursed limit to
Sunday.
his shifts.
Hold on.
That's
Sunday.
Sunday.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Sunday.
Don't
All right, shut up.
don't jump
Got
the
it.
days. So
Got it.
we go to Chrissy's is out of fuel, so we go to fuel up one time, and we fuel it up, and I'm getting in the car, and Eric did a very good job pouring the fuel in, didn't spill a drop, and as I was belting me in, there's a puddle of fuel from under the car, and it's growing.
It's growing.
And growing.
Yeah.
And growing from under the car.
Nothing good will come of that.
No, so we pull in, and I had the fuel pump out of the tank at a point prior to the race. We had not filled it all the way to the tippy top the way we did this time. So this is the first time it was all the way up and it was leaking. So very fortunately, I put the oh, Chrissy, do we have regular internet back? It's not fun. Oh, great. Very fortunately,
Yes, we
I
do.
made a proper cover for the fuel pump, because before the only way to access the fuel pump in this car was to drop the tank. So, but this time when I had accessed it, I cut a nice access hole right in the top with some screws on it. And I'm glad I did.
So smart. You are so smart.
SMRT.
Yes,
Except
you
I
are.
wasn't so SMRT because when I installed the pump back in, I put the gasket in the wrong spot.
You are not so smart.
It took us a while to figure out why is it leaking.
Where
I had
does this gasket go?
Right,
Why are there
right.
two gaskets?
Yeah. And eventually we figured it out. Oh, the gasket goes there. Oh, that makes more sense, doesn't it? Oh, okay. And so we put the gasket there and sealed it right back up. No problem. But we had to wait a little while for it to cool off because, gas was coming out of the tank because it was hot. And
So you guys fix this of your own volition because fire is bad.
Yeah.
Did it count for your one, or did you get it
No,
fixed before they
no one
noticed?
even knew.
Nope.
No,
Excellent.
we saw it leaking. We came right in. We had to pump a gallon of gas out of the tank. But to do that, I had to wait for it to cool off because the fuel line in the engine bay where I was going to pump it out of is right above the header. So we need to make sure it was cool enough that when there's an inevitable little spill that it's not going to cause a fire. So we did that. And then make jumper wires to be able to jump the fuel pump to turn it on to pump it out. So by the time we got a gallon out of it, everything cooled off. We lost some time. By the time we scratched our heads long enough to figure out what the gasket problem was. Okay. So we think we lost like an hour and a half.
We weren't going to win anyway, so it's fine.
No. So then Chrissy went out. No, I went out and it was fine. And I drove for a while. There was no problems. There's a lot of traffic. Never really got good clean laps, but also didn't care. So I was just driving, having a great time, rocking out the journey.
So much journey.
I came into the penalty just to share journey with them because that's a nice thing to do. Just want to make sure they can hear journey, say hello.
Well, and it's extremely interesting because the judges had a theme this time.
They did. You guys can tell us about it while I switch my internet off the hotspot.
Right? This is great.
Chrissy.
I don't remember what.
Okay. Because they brought up from Escape Velocity Racing, the Texas contingent. So it was Eric, him and who was the third judge? It wasn't Randy.
It was a gentleman that I do not know.
It was Sajif.
And there was another guy. Who was the other guy?
From Escape Velocity Racing. Chris has it. The tall guy.
Bob.
Thank you. Yes.
I don't know. I think his name was Bob.
They were all they were the Texas judges of justice.
That's correct. They were in Texas. Now that you say that, I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, yeah.
We didn't see much of them except for when Chris came through the penalty box. I think he had a penalty.
Well, when I came in, I said I didn't do anything. I just wanted to say hi. They're like, oh, hang on a second. They had a report at half an hour before that they never flagged me for of a potential pass under yellow. And I said, oh, I know what happened. I was coming along into where normally was a black flag to turn 6, where that is. And the yellow flag came out and the car I was next to spiked their brakes. And I said, damn it, if I get called for passenger yellow on that, I'm going to be upset because I definitely didn't do that. Yeah,
yes,
they never called me, but I was there.
So many people have had that conversation with me. I did passenger yellow or so-and-so passed, and then they gave me the spot back. And I always tell them, never, ever, ever take the spot. Never take the spot back.
Nope.
That's their problem.
I have definitely pulled in straight behind somebody to make it clear, no, I'm not taking that back.
I have come to a stop. Nope. I am not doing that. You blew it, pal.
Yeah. But this one legit, I was next to the guy and he spiked the brakes and I just, damn it. I hope they don't call that because I didn't. I saw it. I just didn't let off my gas. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
All right. And I am going to take this brief interlude here, make sure I can do this properly. For those who are not following us on our social medias, why aren't you following us on social media? So here's this little gem. There's Eric, our coordinator, our coordinator.
Oh, this is when Tim is glitter bombing us.
Yes. This is Chris in my mom's jacket. Oh, and Steve is playing the keyboard.
Of course, as one does.
Air keyboard, of course. I think I see the glitter bomb. There's the glitter bomb. Yes. I think the video cuts off before you get hit.
Yeah,
it does because it goes on and on and on and on.
Somewhere in the night, it's going to happen.
Oh gosh, and a half.
Don't stop believing.
Don't.
And honestly, the wheel in the sky.
Believing.
The wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
It does keep on turning.
Hey, we were for this theme. It was a tough one to do, but I think we did it faithfully.
Stop it. I thought you were going to say something good.
No, definitely not.
Stop it. I'm so over it.
Saturday. Chrissy, you went out Saturday. How was Saturday? You don't even remember. It was fine.
It was great. I think I did pretty well. I think I had some good times. I think I had I had some traffic. I don't think I had too many flags, and I think I had a couple hero laps, which was fine. So, and they weren't too far off your pace. So I think it was fine. I had a fine time.
Yep.
The tires were slippy. The track was slippy. It got much.
The track, yeah.
It got worse on Sunday. So it was just not inspiring. It was not. You didn't trust it so well because it was really slippery. So, but it was fine. We had a good time.
We were running on old 225 width tires instead of the newer 245s because we weren't going to win anything. So let's use up these old tires first.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it sounds like even with the old tires, you're not too far off of Chris's pace, which is it's pretty good for just a small town girl.
Stop it.
Yep.
Stop it. I'm over it.
Eric went back out later in the day. So I think we had him get a little more time in, and yeah, all is well. And like I said, the grand total.
Did he close?
I think he did. Yes, he did close.
Really? Okay. I think you closed. I think we did an hour. I think
you closed. You closed.
I did close on Saturday.
Saturday.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
so,
we all
I
just
think
bounced around. There's three of us. Everyone drive. Who wants to drive?
Well, especially since we lost hours. I think you went in for a whole stint, maybe a longer, and then Eric did an hour. I did an hour. So we ended that.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, because this is the first time I've ended in a long time. So yeah.
Yep.
So I closed, and it was fine. I had a good time. Playing Journey through the line is fantastic. So that was
it is fun.
I was waiting till I came up to the before you make the turn, and put on the good songs, make sure that the good ones are playing, and yeah, it was good.
I already talked about the lack of maintenance we did, but also at this point, Towley was in first overall, I believe, first or second.
It might have been second because I think our friends in the Aspen were first.
Yeah.
I think it was first, second, and third were pretty close. Yep. There was somebody else in there.
It was the Hornet. At one point, of two of the top three were an AMC Hornet and a Dodge Aspen. And that's how you race right there.
Facts.
So
yeah.
Towley was actually got themselves up in the morning and it's amazing when they have a top 10 start. They're
all out, even then
and
there's still only about an 80% effective rate at top 10 starts.
I think it was definitely Paul or Amanda that started. It wasn't Darren.
Correct.
So
I think it was Amanda. I think Paul went out on Saturday.
Paul finished Sunday. So yeah, I think Amanda started.
Oh, whatever. One of them went in.
Yep. Not Darren or Greg. So
correct.
That's about right.
Correct.
Well, I will accept it if you're running top 10, and let's be honest, Amanda was probably one of the reasons they were running top 10. She's who you're going to want to open that one.
We passed the potluck and the fun that we had.
Didn't yet. We were still talking about Saturday morning, and now I was getting into, or this is the end of the day Saturday, saying they were in this position.
Yeah, I thought you were
as we closed Saturday.
I thought you should have said who's starting on Sunday.
Crescent was in the middle of nowhere because Crescent had a power steering return line rubber hose leak. It was basically the easiest possible leak to fix of anything in the whole steering system was this hose, and it was great that's what it was. Dave fixed it up, no problem. Went back out. Cressida did Cressida things all weekend.
That's fine.
So then potluck. Yeah. Talk about the potluck.
Yeah, we had a potluck. So the potluck was great. Everybody out there, thank you for listening to my complaints about having so much dessert at Pit Race. People brought it. There was so much food.
It was amazing.
Awesome. Variety, not too many salads, only one thing of potato salad. I'm pretty sure they didn't get the message, so that's okay. But there was plenty of people. Most people brought it on time. It was great. Most people brought spoons even. It was awesome. So we had food and we had plenty of dessert. Somebody brought a huge sheet cake because it was somebody's 8th birthday, something like that. And then there was was it an Australian team? They had a Volvo, I believe. I think it was a Volvo.
Oh no, this is the Neighborinos at the end with their Scion TC, the one that did the Wawa Sheets one last time. This time they were some like Australian theme, and they were giving out Foster's oil cans and shrimp on the Barbie and all kinds of stuff.
They were making shrimp on the Barbie, like they had them in the skewers and they put them on a little grill. That was pretty cool. And Zero Energy made brisket, all kinds of meat, brisket pulled. No, they made pulled pork, and they had all kinds of fancy sauces.
They had brisket and pulled pork and chicken, I think, too. They had all kinds of stuff. They
did
all kinds of stuff.
delicious.
Sounds like just any way you want it. Wow.
Yeah, that's the way you eat it.
That's the way we ate it. Yes. We just walked away with the meat sweats. I was like, there's more food. And then Chris is like, we're like ready to throw up. So it was awesome. So thank you to everyone who brought stuff. It was really great. And then, so did we talk about the theme of the Garage Heroes?
No, we did not. Okay.
Well, the Garage Heroes brought a fantastic theme. They were doing dodgeball all weekend. So we already told you they won Halloween Meets Gasoline. So they brought dodgeballs everywhere they went. So after the potluck, not before we cleaned up, because there was still food on the buffet table, but we used that as the center line for a massive dodgeball game. So like Eric Rude was like in it for the death. He was like would like wind up or like hide one, and I was running back and forth. Jeremy Guy got on the table and shook our butts, and like
all of these years of dealing with Lemons drivers placed into rage in his hand in a teeny rubber red ball.
It was all out dodgeball game. So everybody was having a great time. Everybody joined in.
It was great.
Yeah.
Same thing happened through BS too. That there was a good solid, everything stopped to chuck balls at everyone else. It was phenomenal. That level of involvement from everybody is great to see.
They all wore the shirts.
Yeah, they committed.
They did
hard to their costumes.
On their social medias, Vicky did the unibrow and walked around with a Russian accent the entire time.
And the mole moved.
Her mole moved.
She put it on.
She put a new mole on. Yeah, no, they had a good time, and they brought it. So good for them. Glad, and they were very excited to get their first win for Halloween. So that's a great thing. So anyway, that's what happened afterwards. I have to throw in there, and then Chris, did you turn on the music?
I asked Eric to play the cleanup song from Barney when we were ready, and
because
it didn't work.
Because I couldn't clean up the buffet table in the middle of the. Do you not know what the Barney song is? Come on. No,
it's fine. I'll get it, Chrissy. You keep telling the story.
Anyway, so the buffet is still in the middle of the game, and I can't go and just clean up because people are going to hit me with dodgeballs. So I'm trying to clean up, and I can't clean up.
Problems.
Kind of, but also I have to put everything back, knowing that Kim will wring my head if everything is not cleaned up satisfactorily before everybody gets there, so they can start the day. So I need to make everybody stop, and you can yell everybody, but everybody's not going to stop. So Chris played a cleanup song.
I didn't hit share audio. I needed to see that before I actually share this, because that's a rookie mistake, is not sharing audio.
Correct.
300 episodes, people.
It's
terrible, but
everybody stopped and everybody cleaned up. So that was, and truth, Chris would not know that song if I hadn't sung it. And Chris was like, "That's a funny song you sing." And I'm like, "Come on, Barney song, you don't know this stuff," because I have little sisters, so that's the only reason why I know it. But anyway, everybody stopped once he started playing it, and everybody started helping me clean up. So it was wonderful. And then we had 1,000 dishes to do, but that's okay. And then we played in the hot tub as well. All right, that's Saturday. Moving on to Sunday.
Yep. We raced.
We raced.
It was fine. The car was fine. Nothing particularly exciting happened.
I guess Eric started because he always starts.
Yeah, Eric started, and then you went flying with Sasha. So that was the
I did go flying with Sasha. Super awesome.
Yes, I have some third-hand intel on that. So Sasha brought you guys' plane.
Yeah,
correct.
My understanding is there was an error in fuel calculations.
Not in that trip.
No, not with me in it. Shoot, you would never. No, not with me in it. That was with him in it, getting it there.
2 weeks before, he had a fuel calculation error.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like bringing the plane there. He got to dead stick it in.
Nope. Different time. Found a nice field.
We did talk about what happens if we start to go down and what we're supposed to do. He was
a safety briefing. That's important.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's a Cessna 150. It will glide for 2 days.
Sure.
I mean, it's not a cirrus or something. It's still kind of a rock, but oh well.
Yeah.
It's fine. You guys, well, you guys went up and you did a pattern work right around the track. And
We
you got to
did.
see
We
it
did.
right there.
Well, it took
If
us a
you've-
while. We got.
Yeah. If you've never been to New Jersey Motorsports, it is right next door to the Millville Airport. Famously, years ago when we showed up and the Blue Angels were performing. So while the Hornet demonstration team was overhead, it took 30 seconds for someone in the Lemons crowd to have a boombox to start playing the Top Gun theme from Kenny Loggins. So yes,
Yep.
you'll spend your time watching airplanes the entire time you're racing in New Jersey.
We were doing Springtime for Hitler that weekend too. That didn't hurt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was excited to know that Sasha brought the plane, and since I'm still not allowed to fly with Chris because he's still on his training wheels. This is my now opportune time to be able to understand what he is experiencing when he's going up in the plane. So I took Sasha up on the. I thought we were going to go see it, and then I'm glad that we got to go up in it. So we walked through everything. You told me exactly what he was doing, partially probably so he could remember, because I think that's what you're supposed to do, but also he can tell me what I'm supposed to be understanding. It is a tiny plane. We sat very, very close to each other. And then, we just did pattern work. So we took off and we went around to the left, so away from the track because that's the way the wind was blowing. And then we came back. Then we did 2 touch and goes. And then I think the third one, we went to the right. So we went out of pattern, just so we could take a different view over the track. So took a ton of pictures. Actually, I think the person that got in after me took a lot of video because it came back and was like, Eric Rude, look how cool this is. I just was up in the plane and I could see the track. He said, did you take video? No, I forgot to take video. Duh. So he can use it for the wrap up. So you'll probably see the view from the plane in the wrap up video. So, it was cool. I was trying to take pictures and I'm like, first, unfortunately, the Mazda is basically impossible to see from the sky because it's a white car and it looks like everything else. We're hopeful that Tally was blue and had a towel. I think I could probably see the Cressida a little bit more, but again, I'm in the air and it's an orange car. So I'm not really sure I saw any of the cars, but I could see the track and it was pretty cool. We had a great time.
Yep.
Didn't die. I did say, Sasha said at least twice, was like, uh-oh. And I was like, do not say things like that. Do not. I'm in a tiny plane.
Like we could scale people you want to hear say, uh-oh, from good to bad. Like your barber. Never want to hear your barber say, uh-oh.
Somebody that's flying me in a tiny plane? I think that's pretty high up there.
especially Sasha. Because normally Sasha's like, hey, it's no problem.
So I'm very fortunate that I had sunglasses on and a hat and he's flying and I'm like, my face is making a whole lot of faces like, oh, okay. I was like, okay. That was just like, you feel every bump. So it was exciting. I didn't die. We didn't crash. I learned a lot. I had a great time.
And poking around here as we were fighting with interwebs, we do have a lovely video from our lady Chris. Ooh, there's a doggo. The extensiveness
of the potluck
of this potluck. Yes.
Yeah, no, Chris takes these for me because I use these for advertisements for next potluck. So come to Thompson, excuse me. When we get to Thompson, we will put this out on Facebook because I want people to make a potluck that looks like this.
Yeah, that was
and then there were
a truly epic one.
There is an ice cone machine, and there was other parties that were like down a little that had a couple other barbecues that we went to. It was awesome sauce. Really, really good.
Yeah.
And I actually like how it's in proper order. You start with the salad. Yeah, right. Then there's your proteins.
We do that.
And then it moves into the carbs.
That's why they pay me the big bucks, is because I put it in order of like things. That's usually what we try to do. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, potluck, flying the plane. That's where I was. That's why I wasn't racing. Good.
And I was out driving. It was fine. Had a good time.
Yep.
It was a little slipperier on Sunday than on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
No problem.
I guess I got in after you.
You did. And then I got in after you again.
When did Eric go? He got his fantastic.
stint. He went
Yeah,
2
right. 2
hours, a
hours.
little more than 2 hours.
Right?
At 45 minutes, I put my suit on, saying, all right, I would be ready for this. And I'm standing around, not hearing anything. All right. So hour 15 minutes, I walk up to, I think, Vicky, and she's like, oh, did you just get out of the car? It's like, no, I haven't gotten in yet. She's like, what? Eric's still in? It's like, yes, Eric's still in. Wow.
Yeah.
Then we kept playing that game until 2 hours. He's like, so we're at 2 hours. It's time to come in. It's like,
Oh,
whatever you want, sir. You tell me. I was like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, he felt great. He apparently tried a different anti-nausea medication, and it worked.
It's like
treat.
Walgreens generic. He's like, I'm buying
it's
stock in this.
Drama Wall or something,
Yes.
or Wallamine.
Yeah.
So
he
that
got
was
a full stint, and he was jazzed about it too, because
Yeah.
not only did he have a full stint, but he felt great. He was racing people. He was just carving it up, having a great time. I think I've never seen him
Yep.
this excited getting out of the race car. And for the rest of the day, he was just so excited. So at the end, when it was going to close, I said, do you want to go close? He's like, you know what? I had such a great time. I want to leave with that. Like, I got a full stint. I had a wonderful time. Like, that's the note I want to take with me. It's like, perfect.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's about time.
Did we talk about the weather? No, don't care. Doesn't matter. Just hot, slippy.
It was perfect, basically.
It was fine. It was a little warm. We were sweaty. It
That's
was
New Jersey in the summer.
without we've had some problems with our cool suit hose clamps leaking. We lost some water. You came in, I think, at some point for it because so it was hot enough. It was fine walking around. We're kind of like just kind of muggy, but it was not the worst of by any stretch, and didn't rain at all.
I wasn't wearing a shirt under my jean jacket. That's definitely a part.
But then
of the reason.
putting the jacket on. Oh, we have to talk about your hair too. So yeah, but we need to fix our cool suit setup because sometimes
it's my shirt is what it is.
No, it's not. It's not. It's the hose. It's part of the hose clamp that pops off.
Yeah, I know,
mine leaked
because my
too.
shirt used. Okay, fine, we'll fix it.
Well, and
there's something else we can fix.
With regards to the cool shirt, burning love only comes once in a lifetime.
Anyway, so Chris wore a wig. This is to all my ladies out here, which there's probably none of them. Vicky, maybe. I don't think she listens to the show anymore. So to the ladies or to men who scoff.
Your sister and your mom listen.
Yes, to men who scoff at seeing hair ties everywhere. Listen up.
Oh, the struggle is real.
The struggle is right. The struggle is real. So Chris was like, he's wearing his wig, and he kept asking for hair ties because he would put his hair up because right. No, okay. So you care about
in my face.
It was, and he kept. He's trying to wipe it out of his face, and it's all over the place. So he loses the hair tie I give him, and he was like, "Where are your hair ties? I'm just going to go get another one." And I was like, "That's not how this works."
No, amateur hour, dude. You need it anytime. You need 3 in your pocket. All right. You got to have 2 over the gear shift. Especially if you have a convertible.
Just go find any car with a gear shift.
This is why I do this. So then I find it, and this is a good one. He's taken a good one, which everybody has their good ones, right? The ones that they like. I find it on the ground in the dirt. I pick it up and say, "This is my hair tie." And I was like, "Where is your hair tie?" And he was like, "I don't know." And I was like, "It's right here. Don't lose it or you're not getting any more." And then we all talk about getting the one you have on your buy my own. The one you have on your wrist, right? I don't know, Mental, if you ever leave them on your wrist. But Chris put one on his wrist because I told him not to lose them. And then they make the little indent because it's too small.
Every car has 2 over the gear shift. I usually have 3 in my pocket. There's a half a pack of 1 in my briefcase. There's a half a pack of 1 in my desk drawer. And then this is also compounded by having a tiny chihuahua that loves to grab them, hide them under the couch, and pull at them until he breaks them.
Yeah.
Well, so your struggle is realer than our struggle, I suppose. But
wait till your guy's next cat decides that its favorite toy is hair ties.
Well, she really likes hair ties,
but yeah.
Yes.
Then she likes something else.
Right. So you lesson learned, yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, because you get like a package of them.
But I don't have a package of them. When I bring
be in your Christmas stocking every year from now on. So.
You better buy the right ones. But the thing is, when I go to a race, I don't think I need them for my husband, so I have 5. and I wear the same one
You
all
have a
weekend.
Chrissy supply, not a Chris and Chrissy supply.
Correct. And I know that I am good with it. So I have one and then I have a backup and I know where to find the next one if I'm like, oh crap, I knew I left it here, but I lost it or I forgot it or dropped somewhere.
When
don't-
the hair started getting that length, I had to borrow one from Lish, our buddy,
Not surprised.
our buddy in California.
Yes.
And yeah, literally, and she had the same count.
Yeah.
And and it was, look, this is my extra. You
Right.
can't have any more after this.
I
because
have like two in
then
this,
I'm
two in
out.
this
Yeah.
bin, two in this bin. And I'm like, so if you just keep taking them every hour, we're going to be out by the end of the night.
Yeah.
So like we can't. And then I don't have any. So the struggle is real. Men, now that you know, I don't want to be sexist, but it's a thing.
Oh, no. Here, Randy
I'm not
Bish
sexist
Randy
because
Bish
you're-
is on our side. So yeah.
Sure. Good. You were actually outnumbered with the hair tie game. Anyway, so Sunday was fine. Chris finished and packed up, went out to dinner. We already told you about the winners, so there's that. We did,
but if we didn't, if they didn't listen to last week's, we should review.
um,
All right. So
I'll have to go
overall,
back to that.
okay,
Yeah,
never
I
mind.
have to go back.
Overall was Tally. We know that.
correct.
Yay.
And another hard fought victory. B
Hornet,
was
the Hornet. Yep,
which
friends of
again-
ours and
yeah,
down the street. Oh, not far from away.
Mhm.
Yep. C was Elmo's Revenge.
Yes.
Yeah,
in their
they're-
crappy Saturn.
Yeah,
Not even
the
there.
Saturn SL, not SL1, not SL2,
Yeah.
just SL with the rookie car. Yep,
Yeah.
it just kept running.
And
Great.
then IOE was
The Sunbeam Alpine,
Sunbeam
Empire
Alpine.
Strikes
Yeah.
First, Empire Strikes Back. That thing just never stopped running around all weekend.
which
Really
is like the
safe, really
first
good.
Sunbeam ever to do that.
Right. And they did a great job of staying out of the way and being
Correct.
predictable. They did a wonderful job of that.
Yep.
And then
The
Halloween meets gasoline we talked about, and then really that's
Yep.
all about it.
Oh no. So our friend in the Vannenball. So yeah,
Yes.
Zach came from Colorado, not sure that he was ever going to leave, pulled up to New Jersey as soon as we were getting there. So he was right behind us. And I was like, oh my God, you made it. And I'm like, did you just get here? He's like, yes, it just got here. Like, I wasn't sure if he was coming back from somewhere. So he just pulled in as soon as we did. Wonderful person. They struggled all weekend as they did continually breaks and other things. But after the fact, he came out to dinner with us because he's just on his way to
Also,
Gingerman.
he got the regional award
Yeah.
when he did a shoey on his way up to get the regional award. And then that's when Eric gave him the free entry into Gingerman just because they wanted him to keep going. So
Because Eric's a bit of a masochist.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. And Zach agrees. So he was like, fine, no problem. And he was like, oh, here's another week out of work.
And we have more on that next week. When we talk about Gingerman.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, but also he came out to dinner with us. And then we changed his mind and offered him to stay with us. So yes, we were
a little better on his way than where he was going to stay otherwise too. One thing we forgot
was
to talk
probably
about.
in the van.
No,
with
someone
somebody
else
else.
had offered him a spot, but ours is a little more on the way. One thing we forgot to talk about though, Saturday night, we attempted to break the Lemons record for the number of people on or in a Lemons car.
And
The
in.
cruise we held by the Tuna Chuckers,
On
which
and
in
in.
their LTD, right? They had 58 people on their LTD down at CMP. I talked Zach into, why don't we try this? And I said, go
I'm
over
sure
there,
you've
talk to
seen the
Mike from
picture.
Tuna Chuckers and ask what the record is. So we talked to Mike. He said, yeah, let's do this. So we eventually had 40 people,
40.
40
Yeah.
or low 40s in or on the van, and the van was not doing so hot with
And
this.
I was like, safety lady and insurance man say, even drunk, this is not a good idea. I was like, we can't move this with this kind of people on it because you were standing on the top and there was standing room only, which means it's not like you could have even squatted and held on. Like there was just we were like, we're just not gonna do that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so that was fun though.
This close to another rule named after you.
Yeah.
Well, Eric was standing there and he was promoting it if it was going to be safe and we were going to make the record. If we were,
he was the unofficial arbiter of the numbers.
And if we were close, he probably would have allowed a little more sketchy things, but we weren't close. So that's why we didn't pursue.
Yep.
Yep. So overall, Great time as always. Always many stories and fun. Lots of journey.
It's fantastic. The Towley won. Congratulations to those
Yep.
guys. This is their third time. They're kind of getting used to it now.
Except it wasn't. It was still, like as Mental said, it was
still
hard
stressful.
fought.
Oh yeah.
It was very. Yeah,
it
they
was
were
close to the end.
right. They were stressed,
Absolutely close to the
and
end.
everybody got flags, so it was not clean. It's not like everybody was clean, and everybody had their own problems.
They
did. Yes, they did. They did. They had one.
It wasn't like everybody had flags. They had
No.
one.
Everybody had a flag. So the Aspen had at least one.
Oh, I thought you were meant all the Towley drivers.
All of the leaders. I'm sorry. All of the
Yes.
leaders at the top, when they were hard fought between all the people, it was close, but everybody had issues. Therefore,
Yes.
no, it's not like it was clean and perfect for everybody, but don't mess up again, because you never knew if somebody else was going to mess up again. I'm sorry.
I
was
didn't
not
want to
clear.
besmirch the names of our teammates who did
I
not
apologize.
get flags, and that's partially the reason they did so well. And
Correct.
apparently they had the highest lap count ever at NJMP for a
Ooh,
win.
did
So-
not know that. That is
Well, because
that's-
Eric Root
that's
is
impressive.
amazeballs, and he gives
Yeah.
us the stats on everything,
Right.
whether we think it's interesting or not.
And it is interesting.
It
So-
always
Yeah.
is interesting.
Yeah,
Eric,
congratulations to those
yeah.
guys.
Eric has never come up with a boring stat.
No.
All right.
It was definitely I'd call it a high fun, low stress kind of weekend.
Except
All right.
it doesn't matter. You still come home with a hangover, even no matter how much you drink. It's just tiring and long and hard.
If you do it right, it's supposed to be tired and luring. If you're not putting a lot of energy into it, what are you doing?
Yeah, if
Sure.
you're going to
You're
bed
just going to
early,
New Jersey. Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
You're right.
nope.
Nope.
All right.
Okay.
All right. That sounds great. Do we have anything for our hello sweet but terrible? I should probably have done some research on how not to get eaten by bears.
Nah.
Yeah. Bug spray, because mosquitoes will carry you away up there. So
Really?
Oh, that's right. Yes, they did do the warning. They're like the if you show up with just the off, the insects will laugh at you, and take
You
a
need
hit
the-
off of your off before they suck half your blood out.
you need the Benz 100% DEET.
Yes,
Not kidding. Have some of that. It works great.
Yeah, that reminds me.
I'll
I have to make a stop tomorrow after I land.
Yeah. Ask the locals. What do you use? That's what
yeah.
I need.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
The one of the Cordell's child put that up there. They're like, we're not kidding about this kind of a deal. So
Hopefully
look forward
there's
to that.
let's do our just the tip of things we really think Mental should get when he lands in Alaska that are really actually critical. Not
Heat.
kidding. Well, food and water.
Yeah,
for the
okay.
car.
Yeah.
How about real shoes?
Okay. Planned ahead. I'm actually taking a pair of my old flight boots.
Just feel like
and
Chuck's may
socks.
just not.
No, yeah, I'm actually nope, boots and this is how
So-
committed I am. I'm wearing socks.
I think that's the right call. I know that's not
Yeah.
up your alley. I don't even
Yeah.
you're like food and drink. I'm like, how about shoes? Because those are kind of important.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to pull my barefoot crap. there.
Nope.
No.
And even if you think you could, you probably should not.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Okay. So
Uh,
yeah, no, valid.
I don't even know the
Obviously,
weather. What's the weather
various
like
assorted
there?
Fluids
Yeah.
is good. Automotive, just general fluids. I'm gonna say, is there a Harbor Freight in Anchorage? Let's look.
Ooh, that's an excellent question.
How-
Yeah, I'll
how-
let you Google it.
I feel dumb about that. How actually cold is it there?
It's not cold, but every video that Julian Cordell has posted, it's raining. So
Oh.
I've got my, I'm taking long pants for Pete's sakes. This is June and
It-
July in America, and I pay my
it can
taxes.
be really
That's crap.
gray. It can
Yeah.
be really gray there. That's for sure.
So I'm taking a
Um,
raincoat and actually a hoodie. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So if there's a Harbor Freight or something like it, I don't know, maybe Canadian Tool or whatever, or Canadian Tire, whatever.
Canadian
they
Tire,
might have
yes.
those there. I don't know. Maybe you just get whatever the multi-piece toolkits that you can get and have something like, the on sale blister pack of assorted tools. I think that would be important.
I might actually still have mine from our last rally attempt in the Cadillac that I carry in the Mazda. Oddly
It
enough,
doesn't
not in
appear
the
to be a
Porsche.
Harbor Freight, but there's a Lowe's, so they've got some tools there. I don't know. Ask the locals. What's the Harbor Freight equivalent up here?
Indeed. Yeah. I'm thinking also I'm gonna want a Bluetooth speaker. I can't imagine the radio is too good up there.
Yeah.
Paper
I'm
maps.
also thinking, a tarp. Just a generic tarp comes in really handy for all kinds of things. Especially
I
when you're by
bet Dave
yourself
Mills
there.
has one. I can borrow one.
He might be. Yeah, I think it's integral to his setup,
that's
so
right,
I
it's
don't
true.
know that he's gonna
Yeah.
want to give it to
Yeah,
you.
without a
so-
trailer, he's probably down on spares. Yeah. All right.
Chrissy has
this is
hair
a good
ties.
list.
Gentleman Dave has tarps.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. And if you think of anything else that Mental needs, well, it's too late because by the time you're hearing this, I've
That's
already
true.
started.
That's
So
true.
just watch the news for dumb Las Vegas guy gets eaten by moose. And if you don't see that, I'm probably okay.
So
Probably.
when are you coming home?
I fly home on the 5th, July 5th.
Okay. So next week's schedule might be a little bit
America.
off.
Yeah, we're not sure exactly when we're recording next week. We don't really know. We might be late.
So yeah, we might be.
No,
able-
I'm sorry. I was going to talk with you guys about that offline, but yes,
That's fine. I just figured
do
I'd tell
need to-
People
people
can
that-
tell the listeners now.
I'll be flying home on the 5th. So yeah, next week's episode will be one day late, just one day, because we're going to record this on Thursday.
as
and
long as we're
it's-
available on Thursday. So we'll let you know where.
And as you're typing that, is that what we're going to talk about? Because also we have when I said it, I also forgot that we've been doing the international thing here for the last couple of months.
Yeah. Well, so next week we're either going to talk about Gingerman or we're going to talk about start talking about our F1 experiences.
Yeah,
Because
One or the other.
Cool. We'll figure
figure
it
it
out.
out.
It's
One
going
of
to be
those two.
some kind of racing. How about that?
Yeah,
Ta-da!
absolutely. Yes.
Racing
yes.
where we were there, or some of us were there.
Absolutely.
Anything else, kids?
And if you've got an idea, drop us a line. Hit it, Chris.
Hey, thanks for downloading us, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you will join us in the world of racing, driving, and building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Go to iTunes, give us that 5-star rating. You don't even have to have any comments, but if you do, we're going to read them. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop us a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. Text us 484-243-0455. In fact, that's how you tell Mental what things he needs to buy in Alaska before he drives his Eagle off into the great blue yonder. Find us on Instagram and Twitter at everyone.racers, YouTube and Facebook on Everyone Racers, or even Reddit/E1R. Thanks again. Until next week, keep that shiny side up. Unless you're driving an 82 AMC Eagle that you pulled out of a field that has mismatching tires, then just try not to drive off the side of a cliff. How about that?